We'll now proceed with item 2, public comments. Before we start public comments, just a couple of housekeeping items. One is you're reminded that these comments can only be made specifically about the items that are listed in the agenda. To the point that at the last meeting, people asked questions about specific decisions, about specific employees, that those are not to be addressed here. You can talk to the administration about those at another time. Also, we are going to limit public comments to no longer than 1 hour. So as you start to speak, please, in reference to your fellow public comments, try to keep that in mind. But at this time, we'll open it to the first public comment. Would you like me to use this list in order?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll do my best. Juan Valentine.
Hi. First thing I want to say is that getting rid of these people is probably going to create more problems than it's going to solve. I'm sure many of these people have worked hard to keep families here that, despite the changes that occurred last year, the main reason why families left. Families have communicated with us about the changes from Brain Honey, or to Brain Honey from Schoology, which was a superior system. If you ask any teacher, they will tell you that. If you ask any family, any student, they will tell you that. That caused families to leave.
It is now joining.
The changes that were made in how the structure of the school was, families were upset about that. It's not benefited the students. I think the results are clear when this many people have left the school and they come here, they choose not to stay because it's not an alternative to what they expected. It's not what we provided before. And by terminating these people, it's just you're treating the symptoms rather than the cause. Because we're going to be here probably next year when our enrollment goes down another 1,500 or 2,000 or whatever it is. So that's all I have to say tonight.
Lakeisha Tucker?
Yes,
Again, I apologize if I mispronounced the name.
Lakeisha. I am Lakeisha Tucker and have served this school, students, families, and this community with excellence as a Title I teacher in the Federal Programs Department going on 9 years. The work that I do and the work that I have done in this school speaks for me. I am a woman of great integrity and character, and I have a heart to serve people. Today is a new day, and you have another opportunity to vote. You have been given this day to use as you will. You can waste it or use it for good. What you do today is important because you are exchanging a day of your life for it. And when tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever. In its place is something that you have left behind. And let it be something good. And I pray that each of you makes the right decision and that justice is served. Now, with that being said, myself along with 2 other employees come from federal programs and our salaries come out of that. Now, I want to know, how does that affect the budget? How do our salaries affect the budget? Can you answer that question?
We won't be answering questions this evening. This is for your comments.
Okay. And I also want to know where I fall in the seniority list of 19 other employees who are employed and get salaries paid out of federal programs. And 50 coaches who are part-time. Where do I stand in that seniority list?
As I addressed previously, we won't be discussing individual decisions made. We can address those during business with the administrator. Dana R.
Questions I have concerning is the budget. Basically seniority as well, but the budget. From 2012 to 2015, administrations received a pay increase between $20,000 and $30,000 more per person in that administration environment that you, the board members, approved in the past 3 years. Why haven't you cut their pay to save our jobs? They make plenty of money to live on. $100,000, you take 20 from them, that saves our jobs. It's common sense. It's common sense. I would do that for my family. You guys are leaders. Don't you want to do that for your family? We're your family. We work. We're not. families don't treat their members like you guys have treated us. Take a cut. Take a freeze. No pay freezes. You all got 2 to 5% raises. Also, it makes no sense. We have livelihood too. You cut us. Mr. Eller, you were my principal. You taught us to be leaders and not followers. It's time to take a lead in this school and run it ethically and morally correct. No more politics. We're talking about the kids. We're talking about the kids.
Now joining.
And the kids' education. They're dropping. They're dropping. From us being let go, over 400 or 500, I don't know the exact number, but there's a couple hundred that have dropped because of us. These teachers have relationships with their families. And those friends have friends and friends. They drop. I want you and Phil Tridico, Brian, Tom, Judy. I worked at CCBC. I've heard all, you were a board member. You're a board member. Where's the leadership? Quit the politics. This isn't about politics anymore. We're real people. We're real people. Look at us. Took our livelihood away like that. True leaders make sacrifices for those people. My husband and I, we're leaders at home. We have a daughter, Vivian. Most of you know, some don't. We set examples for her. As board members, you need to set examples. Judy, Mr. Elder, Brian, you're here so I can see you. It's harder to talk to, Phil and Jane. You need to set examples. Stop with the politics. We teach our daughter right from wrong. We show her kindness to give to others, thoughtfulness to give to others. We show her how God wants her to live and how to treat others with respect. God is a big word. Sorry, some people like it, some people don't, but God is, take God out of education. We all hear that, but we teach her to treat others with respect and to be a leader. Don't be a follower. We lead her by our examples, by making the right choices to help her grow. I want you to make the right choices to grow this school back up to where it was, because it's not. It's failing miserably. I don't have to tell you that. You know that. A change needs to happen. And it's not by letting us go. It's not. Obviously, kids are still dropping. So board members, do you think there's any, I know you can't answer, do you think there's any true leaders here? That's something I think you all, administration, board members, should ask yourselves. I feel I'm a leader. And I know a lot of leaders in here as well. And I'm not saying any one of you are not leaders. I'm sure you're leaders in your own way. But I've really stepped out of my shell. I have. And I hope that you can reconsider tonight's vote.
Goodwin.
That's me. Phil Tridico, I want to speak to you. Can you hear me? Phil?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Cindy Goodland.
Hi.
I wanted to speak to you. I've been an administrative assistant here at PA Cyber for over 10 years. And on behalf of myself and everyone else who's been affected by this RIF, I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You were the leader. You made the right decision. I believe God put something on your heart that night, Phil, and we're all proud of you. And whatever happens tonight, you will never, ever be forgotten. We appreciate your kindness. Thank you.
Michelle Hoskin.
That's me. Phil, I also wanted to thank you. And I'm asking the board members to just listen tonight. The morale at our school has gone down and down and down for a very long time. I've been here 13 years. I know we're not allowed to answer, and we're not allowed to speak to seniority, but I personally have an issue with the seniority decision, because like I said, I've been here longer than probably most people in this room. I know the character of the board and decisions you've made when faced with this in 2011, what the board decided, and there's many members of you that are still on the board, what you decided was to have everyone take a pay freeze. I just question, the board is here to make sure that the administration acts correctly and makes right decisions. I want to know, and I want you to think about, were you involved in the decision-making process? Was anything else an option? Did you, after the meeting on the 5th, did you get together and discuss any of the options that Mr. Havey laid out? Because there was a whole host of them that would have saved this money. You have an in-service tomorrow. I don't know how any of you could go to the in-service and speak and try to boost morale and say with one voice, we're all a family and we're here to work together, if you let go these 42 people. I just don't know how you can do it and succeed. So I ask you to do what your heart and mind tells you is right, and maybe follow the precedent that you yourselves have set in 2011. Thank you.
Whitney Wright, is that correct?
There's nobody in this room that can tell me that the 43 of us were that big of a detriment to PA Cyber's wallet. There's nobody in here that can ever justify or make sense of it when there are ways to cut money in other means without ruining people's lives. Because you have ruined mine. I have a 3-year-old. And I just do the math. I have $29,000 a year. Do the math. Please, can you live off the $29 grand a year? Now I'm reduced to $200 a week, every other week, with my family. So thank you for destroying my family. Thank you. For 5 years, I may have not have been at the top of the food chain, but I put in 5 good years. You have 43 people that have put in years. Good people who could have gone anywhere. But they chose to work here, and they chose to work for you, to make this place the best place. But you get rid of us. That's how you are performance. Thank you. I need this is the worst circumstance, but I'm here begging. And you know what? Begging's for dogs. I'm not a dog. I'm not a dog. We are not dogs. Do what's right. I need my money. I need my job. I need it.
Stephanie Skinner-Hinton?
It's me. So, I've been listening to my colleagues, and a couple of things really stuck out to me. Dana talked a lot about leadership, and Michelle talked a lot about morale, and Lon talked about system-wide changes. And again, like some of my colleagues here, I've been here for a long time, and I've worked through a lot of systems, and it all boils down to this. And I can tell you that I know this for certain because I know my families, and I know why they're leaving, because I've had many families come to me and say, I'm leaving not because of the teachers. I'm leaving because of this system change or this schedule change. What I think a lot of people fail to understand, and I'm only going to address the VC department because that's my thing. We had a system and a department that we were rock stars. And you know why we were rock stars? back to what Dana said, because we had impeccable leaders. We had Andrew Oberg, we had Michelle Poskin, we had Andy Petro, who was awesome. We had Nicole Genovito. And you know why her teachers, all of their teachers, worked their tails off for them? Because they treated us like family. If we had a circumstance, wow, Michelle, I gotta pick my kid up, I'm stuck. No worries, I'll jump in your class, we got it. Because we knew our families. I can tell you, Hope last year in my AP class, her mom got cancer. And so sometimes Hope needed a little extra, whatever. Hannah in my AP class, I know all her family, they're all Civil War reenactors. Hannah has diabetes and she teaches yoga. It baffles me that you would get rid of the people that are connecting with your families. We are the ones who love these people. We are the ones who keep them. To change those systems, to take everybody out of our department that knew how to run the department, because they've been there since day one, to completely upheave that is when the trouble started. And I can tell you from that point forward, when all those pieces of the puzzle were taken out, I knew it was only a matter of time before it started crumbling. And it's sad because I love my we love our families. And it's not the teachers. We just can't stand all the other stuff. So if you want enrollment to go back up, go back to that. Figure it out. I mean, we had a system that wasn't broken, at least in our department. Just think about that. Your families come here because of us, the teachers, the support staff, those people that answer the phone that say, you know what, Dana, I think Dana told a story. Or no, it was, she talked about how the family call, Why would you get rid of those people that pour their heart and soul to your families? You want to keep your families? You want people to keep coming back? That's what you need to do. It's puzzling to me that I'm just a teacher, and I know that. But I know that because I know my families. So just think about that.
Linda Dyer.
8 years ago, I wrote it this time, so I'm not emotional. 8 years ago, my teaching career began here. I finally had a place to call home. It was finally a place surrounded by colleagues, administrative staff who wanted me to work for them. All the years I subbed, many years longing for a chance to have my own class, my own kids, all my own. So within 8 years, I did every job and task and responsibility with 110%. I did what was asked of me, volunteered. I did the Beyond Book Program Coordinator, which was not continued when I resigned from that to be a full BC full-time teacher due to all the responsibilities and duties. I volunteered for SAP for 2 years. I traveled one of the furthest PSSA testing locations of the year, without hesitation in leaving my family. I even aligned the curriculum to the standards. So within 8 years, I never had a core review or evaluation, always scored proficient or in excellence. I was never written up once, never was on probation for anything. Coincidentally, many people that still offer jobs have been written up and they have been on probation, but they still have to work. So my frustration is this. If I was let go because of a true seniority issue or enrollment issue, I can truly accept that and make peace and move on to new adventures. If it was not for those reasons, then why me? And why the other great people surrounding this room that have not had one negative reflection on the teaching career?
Deanna Mancini Block.
Black. So some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about, you guys have already touched on. One of the biggest things that I'm going to start with is the fact that I want his job and his salary. And I'll tell you why. Because for my year here, I made $24,960. The poverty level for a family of four, which is me, is $24,250. Now you do that math. So here I am. I come to work every day. I bust my butt every day because I am a firm believer in the fact that the harder I work, the better I am in my job. That's going to pay off. I did different things. I interviewed for different positions to better myself. I did everything I could. I volunteered to help. I did everything I could to show everybody that I was a go-getter.